We are live. How's it going, everybody? My name is Ned. How you guys doing? I don't know why I introduced myself. Y'all know who I am. We live? We're live. Dank music, how's it going? You got that dank music, my guy? All right, there we go. Announcement is out on the Discord server. We should get some more people in here. Hey everyone, how's it going? Let me get some music while we wait. Life boy, how's it going? 122 Dev, how you doing? Just get some tunes going for you guys. Garfield, how you doing? Yeah, there's some on YouTube. Sorry, man. Oh, this is gonna be loud. Yep, there it is. Woo! One, two, Dev with the follow on Twitch. How you doing? Forbidden. Surprisingly, I didn't have to play Dark or Jacob anything. Not yet, at least. I could go back into the call real quick and they'll be like, yeah, we're gonna need money before we say anything. Opera, how you doing? Why are we using the same overlay? It's just all I have right now. It was kind of like we decided that today was gonna be the day, like literally this morning, so I just made sure that we got everything's functional, so we're just gonna roll with it. Sup lit stream. It's a lit stream, that's for sure. But yeah, that's why we're using the same overlay. I'm sorry, guys. You should code one? What do you mean? I don't really know yet. Maybe I'll pull up here, maybe I'll put the chat there or something. Does that sound okay? Like, we'll just fill it with that. Joe, how's it going? Alright, so now that people are arriving, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the call. We're going to start this conversation. I can't go on Twitch, it requires a sub. What do you mean? Yeah, sorry about this. I didn't have anything really set up yet. Let me fix this. This probably needs centered. Does that look fine? Redstone, how you doing, my guy? I don't really like that. We're gonna put that back. I'm sorry, guys. We might not have anything in the middle there. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to the call real quick and tell them that we are live. Oh, Deshaun's making an overlay for me right now. Perfect. Alright, hopefully Dark has his mic working. Hey guys, you there?
Yes, I am.
Is Dark still working on getting his mic working again?
I think he's trying.
Alright.
I don't think it's going that well. But.
Yeah. MS Paint is better than Photoshop. You right. Is that Ned? No, this is not Ned.
So nothing.
Oh, hey.
There he is.
Oh. I was keep swapping between microphones, like, apparently both of them didn't work. At least that's what Jacob told me. And how it suddenly works again, I have no fucking clue.
That's just how it works. Alright, so.
This is where you don't debug with other people. This
What's
is how
that?
you get their coding on your own, because it doesn't work.
Alright, so let me fix some audio stuff real quick.
It's probably still
Oops.
flipping awful, but
Alright, nope. Cole with the cheer, man. Thank you so much. Right. Deshaun said he's making me another overlay. He says that as I start up the stream, so we might stop here in a little bit to take a quick break just so I can switch that over. But just to start off, I don't think we got any. I don't think. Oh wait, I have an idea actually. We could. I don't want to throw my face up there that big though. Like, I feel like that. No, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want, if you want to put like the Discord call.
Yeah.
Facing the top
Yeah,
right.
maybe here. 1 second. Actually, I'm gonna just full screen it. Can I do that? No, I cannot. Of course not. How can I hide the left side?
I think I should probably get off the push to talk with. I can't even look at the stream. That fucking testing. Never get Chromebooks, kids, not if you try to do something serious with it. Except for SSH terminals and crappy Chrome app and text editors. And browsing, obviously, because that's what they're decent for. But
Alright, so I'm just going to pull up our Twitter because we sent out a tweet earlier today with a question. Since you two both, well, Dark, you work in the programming field, and Jacob, you're about to.
Yes.
And my tweet was, if you were to meet an employee of your dream company, what would you ask them? I don't think we got too many serious replies. Yeah, no serious replies. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and go to that tweet. I could throw that in the chat probably. Or if you have any questions and you just want to send it here, that's totally fine as well.
what was the question? Sorry, what I was messing with keybinds and everything with the shit.
No worries. It was just I sent a question out on that. It was more so for the viewers. Copy link to tweet, and let me go ahead and send that out real quick for you guys. All right, I'm gonna cancel the music here real quick. All right. So I think we're ready to start finally. Maybe.
I sort of hate this question. I don't know why.
What? The tweet? You hate it? Hello, Dark?
Of course, I thought that I was in a different flipping tab. Add me to that question and realize why. Dream company and picture me at my current work.
I
Hold
can
on.
barely understand him, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like,
This can be actual questions that they could ask me. Because Google, pretty sure people, at least one person out there wants to work for Google when they grow up.
Well, yeah, literally, like, most of our Discord would, like, we don't publicly say this a lot just because it'd probably get annoying for you. But, like, pretty much everyone in our Discord would love that kind of job.
I would.
I mean, even you're like the job you're gonna be working at as well. That'd be pretty cool. So today's topic is gonna be Toaster Man. Sorry, Joe. Today's topic is gonna be programming history. Basically, we're gonna go over like what got us started in programming and like what kept us going and stuff like that. So like whoever wants to start really can go. Like what grabbed your attention in programming? Like the field itself.
Well, if I want to start, I basically got into it in high school very early. I took a class on just a random programming class back in like freshman year of high school, and that first introduced me to Visual Basic.
Okay.
I don't even know where that's used right now. It's
It
called
was
like
C
Visual
Sharp,
Basic 6.
right?
It's not like the one that's used today, but
Okay. I think I remember it back in the day, because I believe I would be if I were still in college, I'd be a senior, and that's what year you are, right?
yep.
B-Hop with
Yes.
the $5 donation. Thank you so much, man. Sorry.
No, it's
I do have to break every now and then just to announce alerts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So yeah, after that, I think I took another course the next year, and that was when I first learned Java.
okay.
And I just loved the programming language because I didn't really know low-level programming languages at the time, like C, but Java just seemed really simple to me, and I caught on pretty easily.
I feel like that's a lot of people's first language.
Yeah, I think it's a good language to learn first. I would probably recommend something other than Java, something like Python, because I think that's
That's actually what I was gonna pick up today after this stream. It was suggested to me by one of he's actually a guy who just completed FUBAR and he got like invited for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, yeah, Python's gonna be where you want to start. But yeah. So like, what kept you going? Like, what did it just like you knew like right away, or was it like, did you fall off every now and then, like, kind of chase other things?
Yeah, I don't think I took programming that seriously all the way back in high school, but at the time I was really into just computers in general, and I started getting into building computers and ordering all the parts online and just putting them together, and I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a big hardware person for a while.
That's never been my thing. I made one of my friends help me build my computer. But yeah. So apart from Java, you said Visual Basic. What else was there? Like that. Okay, Python. You said, right?
Yeah, I learned Python pretty recently. Actually, I took it like, I think it was the first year of when I started college.
Have you so from outside of college, because a lot of people are younger than college age. So what would you recommend to someone that like really wants to like get in the programming field and not have to go to college to get a programming job? Like, where would you suggest this? Like, if you can suggest anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I don't know any companies that will hire, I guess, people who want to become programmers professionally that don't have a college degree. But there definitely are some out there, and I think the best thing that you can do is just have a great portfolio and then have a bunch of different certifications that you can get. And there are a bunch of certifications offered for like every single language that are like popular languages, obviously, but those would definitely help when applying for jobs. Mm-hmm. And just one of the most important things that I've figured out is having connections when you're applying for jobs, because if you were to just apply online to somewhere, you're probably not going to hear back. But if you know the person, or if you know someone who works at the company and they can contact their HR representative, then they could definitely help you out.
For sure. You spoke about certifications. Like, is there a certain spot, like certain website that like maybe like even just documents like all the good ones that you could have, or like are there good ones that you could have? I feel like there's probably just be like something someone should look into them for themselves, but you know.
Yeah, I think they differ for most programming languages. I have one in Java that I got a few years ago, and I think they have multiple levels of the same certification for the most part, but I think that might be the only one that they offer. It's just one certification, but you can get different levels.
Okay. Wait.
I forgot exactly what it's called, but you can just search up Java certification on Google.
Okay. Yeah. Dark, are you there? I see him in chat.
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to change my name on Twitch, but apparently it's not available, so that's fine.
Alright. Let me go ahead. Deshaun just sent me the new overlay, so let me download and set up that real quick. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
So does anyone in chat currently have questions? See if we can pull any questions while we wait. Why do I have 14? Okay. Alright, so let me... Whoa! Whoopsies. Full face. No thank you. Okay. Man, Deshaun, you made this spot for my webcam a little too big. I don't like my face being that big. Alright, so let me... Oops, wrong button.
It's an upside down Ned.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, Forbidden already got some kind of screenshot.
Oh, wait. Wouldn't it be forbidden if he didn't take the screenshot, right?
Exactly. That's all he does. He's just here for screenshots. Alright, so let me add a couple browser sources real quick and we'll be back. So Dark, do you have like something that really like got you into programming? Like when did you start?
I reckon like somewhere between 14 and 16.
Okay.
Just by seeing other people do it, like the other people programming, and that was interesting. So
Sure.
like, I tried my hand at it, and obviously sucked really, really bad.
Everyone does when they first begin.
Yep.
It's just how it works. So, what do you remember? What languages you started in?
I think I started either in C++, which was a huge mistake because that was tough as fuck, and the tutorial was shit. And I like tried that for a while, then just gave up, and I think half a year later, I just started working on PHP, just like to get something that was not as tough as C++, and just getting something out there. But I also think like the thing that originally got me into programming was also PHP.
Wait, what was that? You said... What was that last part? Sorry.
The original thing that I think got me into programming, or at least like looking more at programming, was PHP as well.
Okay, so what about PHP? Were you making like you know, login systems and intricate websites and stuff like that, or like?
No, it was a tracker for an event where you had to like hunt people all across the county, and you basically like we used it to log in like every hour you got like this hint which resolves to an IP. This resolves to coordinates, and we used like to put like a small database which kept all the coordinates with which time they were sent, like so we could see where people would be moving towards.
Okay, that's
so, like,
pretty
using that, you could basically predict where people would be going next, which is still being used like once a year.
cool. Once a year, you said?
Yeah, because the event is once a year, so. But this
Oh,
system
okay.
is like slightly evolving, and it's still being used. But like, yeah, obviously it started at some point by older people.
That's pretty cool. So, you said you originally started with C++, and that was like you used like some kind of tutorial, I'm assuming, on YouTube.
No, it was a text tutorial which was one page explaining everything about C++. And
One page.
It was one page of like really basic features.
Huh.
And
What
that
can
is like the worst way to start.
what can you do with one page? Like
You start talking about constructors, destructors, and pointers, which for someone who started 1 hour ago is a really tough cookie to eat.
yeah, I would imagine. I took a semester class in C++ and I still like I don't think I could go back and do it anymore.
Oh, I think it like took me at least 3 years to properly understand pointers and references.
Yeah, I remember doing like we had like a small section on that in the end, and that was just like the worst. Like I just could not understand it. Like I don't think I really tried all that much. I wasn't too much into college at the time, hence not in college anymore. But okay, so C++ to PHP, and then what? Like, where did you go from there?
Well, obviously, like the usual combination of PHP, HTML, CSS,
Mm-hmm.
tiny bit of JavaScript. From there, I reckon Java for a really long time, and slowly expanding that to like C# and more C and C++ and all kinds of bizarre languages which people probably haven't heard about.
Give us an example.
Oh, not that strange, but I reckon that a lot of people don't really go outside their 1 or 2 languages, at least not at the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like it's more so like either someone does Java or maybe like one of the C languages, or like I don't know. I feel like there's just very few that people really go out to learn. All right, so I'm gonna add Deshaun to the call real quick, and he can talk to us about his programming experience as well. He said he wants in on this.
Sounds good.
Oh God, let's run.
He's probably gonna have roommates in his background, but that's okay.
I don't, actually.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oof, Deshaun. Oh, people are hating on you, man.
Oh, disrespect.
So, Deshaun, where did you get your start in coding?
Well, it all started in a small little village. It was probably, I want to say, my freshman year of college when I really started getting into Java. Probably a few years before that, I started, looking at it and, did what everybody kind of does, I think, when they're first starting, is do it for a little while, get really annoyed that you couldn't get something to work, quit for a little bit.
Follow a couple of New Boston videos, find an error somewhere.
Yeah, follow a couple of New Boston videos, realize
I get
you
that.
don't know what you're doing.
That's what happened to me for about 4 years.
But I wanted this. I had this really, really good idea for a Minecraft server, and
I remember this.
I knew there was no one out there who had, at the time, the idea, or, and I knew there wasn't a plugin for it. In me being the broke college freshman that I was like, oh, I can't pay somebody like $200-300 to make something like this, especially if I don't know if it's gonna work. So I dedicated like the next 2 years or so trying to learn how to code Spigot plugins. So I actually didn't know any Java going into Spigot plugin development.
Don't tell people to do that. Don't tell them.
It's probably the wrong thing to say, because
oh man.
Like, oh, see, I don't need to know Java.
Yeah, see what you did.
But yeah, so it definitely made it a lot harder not knowing Java. So like while I was trying to do Spigot, at the same time I was trying to learn Java, which is kind of like an interesting contradictive statement there. But yeah, so it was really me wanting to make this really cool plugin that
Did you ever finish that plugin? I
didn't, no.
I remember what it is, but
no, I didn't finish because I sort of started picking up other things, and then eventually I realized that the idea kind of was already done by a few other people. So by times I learned how to do it.
Can we say what it was then?
I don't even know. Which one was it? Do you remember?
Yeah.
I remember the exact name. Well, yeah, go ahead. What was it?
It was a League of Legends one.
Right. No,
I remember,
yeah.
I remember you having me sit in that server for literally like hours on end.
I'm like, Ned, I was like, I don't need you to do anything. Just sit here.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I got really far. I got the turrets. I got minions. And then I sort of just lost motivation to finish it, really, because once I realized like how complicated it was going to be really to do all the math for, you know, damage values, armor stats, magic, all the items, having the particle effects for the items. I was like, this is not a one-person job. So I kind of just dumped the idea. I had it on my computer for a while, but then I accidentally deleted the folder where all of my Eclipse projects were in, and I lost it all. So yeah, back up all your stuff.
Whoa. Cole Stowell donated $2 to Super Chat. Expect more today. C++ is my starting language. Thank you so much for the $2, man. We really appreciate it. Alright, so... Okay, so does anyone have any questions anymore? For Deshaun or anyone in general, I mean...
Sure. I got some questions I can ask you guys.
Sure.
Anyone can answer. What do you think was probably the hardest part about starting developing, whatever language you started? What do you think was like the hardest barrier to get past?
I can go first if no one else wants to.
Oh, I didn't hear your question. I'm sorry.
What was the hardest barrier to get past when you first started programming?
Oh God.
Or one of them.
Yeah, I mean there are just so many things that can go wrong. I mean I think what I had trouble with was just debugging programs in general when they didn't work, or just figuring out how to like properly Google your questions, because I spent a lot of time on Google when I was first learning.
Yeah, I was kind of like in the same boat. Like whenever I was like 13 and going through YouTube tutorials and not really knowing what I'm doing, just trying to like follow along and kind of like grasp what like really going on. Like I got my start in Java, I'm pretty sure. I might have like messed around with like a little bit, like I don't consider it programming, but like the web design part of it like a little bit before that, and then even before that I was like working with like C basic stuff and just like stuff like that. But really like when I got started was Java, and I would follow a bunch of videos, and I get like 18 videos in like on the new Boston, which is like 40 minutes of content. But I would get like that far in, and then all of a sudden one of his like something wouldn't work on my side, like I'm following like exactly like, and I just didn't understand it. So like debugging in that sense really didn't like it didn't make sense to me, and I didn't like know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dark still here?
Yeah.
Still here. I'm just not talking while he's talking. I'm just thinking he's making the exact same, going through the exact same thing that everyone on the bloody Discord is having. Like, tutorials exactly the same. It's like I copy the exact same code and it doesn't work. Like, the amount of times you see that on the Discord channel was like amazing.
Yeah, I agree, but like even like then I wasn't like to a T. Like I was more so like I would like expand out on what I did. Like I don't have any exact examples, just because like I remember doing this when I was like 14, 15 years old, so that was like 7-8 years ago.
Oh, God, don't remind me.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, like, and then I just like tried to expand on what I could and like kind of like push past what they were doing in the tutorials, just like because I knew that's what I needed to do to learn. But then I would find that one thing that I would spend hours trying to figure it out, and it would just never work, and I get so frustrated, and I would walk away from coding for like a month or two and just take a break from it, and then I'd come back.
See, I think like the biggest thing, and you know, I can personally attest to this, is I think a lot of people they try to reach too far for what they're able to do and how much they know. So, for instance, when I was trying to make the League of Legends plugin, I knew that it was going to be a huge project, and I set my goal far too large. It was really at the time extremely unreachable. But you know, like you can feel as determined as you want to finish something like that. But I think in the end, a lot of people, they sort of fall where I fell, where you get maybe halfway through and you're like, damn, I really don't want to do this anymore. It's not fun. You just find yourself spending more time Googling and trying to fix all these small little errors than actually making something that's, you know, worthwhile or worth even showing.
Sure.
At least you're fixing errors. It's more frustrating to spend time and not fix the error.
Oh, I mean, I probably at the time I probably wasn't really fixing errors. I was probably just finding a different way to do it so I didn't get that error. Like, oh, can't fix that.
Well, that's fixing it though, like using a different method to avoid an error. I mean, that's still getting rid of the error.
I guess, yeah.
People forget the fact that sometimes tooling, setting up your tools can be hard as well. Especially like, look, I started with C++, setting up everybody linking part of it. It's such pain.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
And it's so hard to debug because the errors, especially as a newbie, the errors are so obscure. So like, well, what is this referencing to? Which part of this whole huge blob of text is actually my error?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we just got a question in from Corrupted69. Are any of you currently pursuing a career in programming? Well, that's an easy question for most of us.
Yeah.
Well, at least me and for Jacob it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm pursuing. I'm definitely pursuing. I'm just not doing very good job at it.
Yeah, so to be honest, I think I'm quite the oddball in this whole entire group.
Yeah.
Even in the Discord, I actually don't go to school or study programming at all. I actually am going to be graduating this May with my bachelor's in broadcast journalism, and I will be working down in New York City. I got offered a job down in New York City as a assistant video editor. So yeah, this is more or less a hobby, which just goes to show how easy it is to do it and to get into it and to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Hey, Sean, I'll see you there. Okay, I'll be there. I live an hour from the city. Okay, bet.
Are the alerts not popping up? I hear them. Here, let me send a test one real quick.
Did you put your overlay over top of it?
No.
Is that what you did?
No.
I have a feeling that's what you did.
No. Sorry about that, guys. Here, I'll go ahead and send all the past chats.
I can see your stupid self smiling.
Man.
I've hopped around from thing to thing for 3 years. Oh, okay. And I don't care because it's all about the experience of learning from each language and each different thing. Yeah, I mean, I can totally agree to that. Cole's too well. I mean, eventually you do probably want to settle down and maybe focus on learning a particular language, like really in depth, rather than maybe just scratching the surface of 5. You know, you don't want to be a sort of a what's the term I'm looking for?
All round.
No.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
Or like you need to start with one, and after that you can always be the master of all, right? I mean, I obviously like started doing Java at some point, got really in depth, got all my knowledge from there, and like after that, build up with other languages, get better at other languages. But the fact that you should probably start with one is definitely a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I started in really in Java, and like I just kind of expanded from there. Aren't there like plenty of languages that are like based off Java?
Yeah, there are a ton.
Yeah.
There's so many programming languages in general.
Java is like the caveman of programming languages.
I don't know. I mean, it's not really that old compared to some of them.
True. DDoS has a question. He says, I've been trying to learn C++ and C#, and I have been looking for motivation. What gave you guys motivation to learn separate languages from separate than your first?
Find projects to do with them.
That's my hardest thing, though. Like, how do you find those projects? Like, honestly, now I'm having a question for me. But like, what did you do to like find like Java projects? Like, aside from like Spigot, like, where did you start? Did you just like all of a sudden have an idea of something you wanted to build and then like research on how to build it, and it turned out it was Java that would be the best, or did you like say Java is what I want to do? And find yourself a project based off of that knowledge.
Well, in that sense, like, okay, I knew a tiny bit of programming, but my start was sort of the same. Like, I want to make Bugit plugins, and like, so I started like doing Java for that, and just like expanding my knowledge of Java. Just because like you find new things online and you start like adding to your whole bunch of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done Java for much else recently though, like aside work stuff. But yeah, like, it's true, finding projects might be hard. Finding out how to do those projects properly in the language might even be harder.
Oh yeah.
Especially like with some languages like C. For instance, in Java you have like Maven and everything, like you can do dependencies quite easily. In some languages might be really, really hard. But yeah, like, if you find a project at some point or you did a project in a language, you can also consider just like taking the old project and just write it in a completely different language. I mean, you got a whole project laid out. Just rebuild the project in a different language. Saves you like at least a couple of months thinking of projects which you could do while you just did a project. You can just like do it.
That's what I find happens to me, but at the same time, like I'll end up switching projects. Like I can never like, I'll be working on a certain project, and as I work on it, the anticipation for a project, like, so like halfway through I'll think of a different project that I want to do, and like then the anticipation will start building up, and I'll end up switching projects and then abandoning the old one, and then that'll just start like a vicious cycle.
Might mean that you need to set more realistic goals then, like smaller goals instead of like making this huge big thing out of it.
That's a good idea. All right.
Like that, for example, I'm planning to build this this web server thing which I can do remote torrents. Why not just start like with a simple getting yourself an actual web server open and this server bloody hello world? Might be a really good start. But then you get something to see, and then you can like expand on that and make it more visual and add like a whole bunch of code to it. Just get like the actual feeling that you're accomplishing something while you don't have to like continue working on the whole project. Like wouldn't start like on writing the complete project and then test it, because that like could take a long time and never seeing any results.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you like start with something small and then like incrementally build up on it, you can possibly see results even faster.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, we have a question from Chilled Easy. Do you have any recommendations on what/where I should learn to program? I could probably, I mean, I don't think I could answer the where, but I mean, Python has been like suggested to me a bunch today, like literally just today. And like, from what I could tell, there's a lot of functionality with it. So I would definitely start there. But as far as the where, I mean,
there's plenty of good sites. I mean, even a lot of the languages themselves have pretty basic, beginner tutorials, right? On their language site. I mean, pretty much any language now, you'd be pretty hard pressed not to find millions of different web pages that have, you know, beginner tutorials on there. I think really it's really about learning the basics of a language. I think that's really the hardest part. It's, you know, taking the time, you know, like the Java series. Obviously, it's not an extremely popular series on the channel because quite a lot of people do know Java, but it's one of those things where there's a lot of people who don't know Java, so it's a really boring series if we're all being honest. But in the end, it's going to be very valuable because it's all real short, it's really quick, and you're able to just learn what you need to know. Then you can start diving into making more complex things through those basics. And books, I don't read books, so I can't tell you that.
I mean, I've gone through a couple books, but it's mostly been for college. Like, I think there's been like one Java book that I bought that wasn't for college. I've yet to take a Java class. But yeah. So, what did you and your team meet? What team?
Discord. Except for Ned.
Oh yeah, me and Deshaun met a while ago.
Ned I've known for a really long time, and we have actually run YouTube channels ourselves together. Been a part of different YouTube and YouTube networks. We met in what, like 2013?
I think 2012 even.
2012, yeah.
2012 or 2013.
I started my first YouTube channel in 2011.
Yeah.
And I met Ned not much later than that.
Yeah, you were at less than, yeah, not many subs at that time.
Yeah, not many.
I won't say how many.
I don't even know, but so I met Ned then, and we kind of been like on and off for since then until really recently.
Well, yeah, once like the source code started, we kind of like, I don't know, that kind of, I mean,
yeah. So
I was really down with the project.
Yeah, so I started the source code in December of last year. I was originally gonna wait till January 1st upload to make my first video public, but I got really excited for it.
I remember that.
So I couldn't wait. So I was like, screw it, live.
Yep.
And it almost instantly the channel got pretty instant feedback. And then I told Ned about it. I was like, hey, like I'm starting this new channel. Like, is this anything you might be interested in? And he was like, yeah. And then he's sort of been working with me pretty much since the start to sort of build it to what we have today. And then, you know, he has really, personally, I would say him and the admins have really been the true backbone of this channel and the community. They're really what keep it alive, along with all of our developers, and people who aren't even developers, like who don't have the developer on the Discord.
There's still a lot of people that help all the time.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people in those chats, you know, offering help, even if it's not, you know, A1, Dark, Seb, and X help or Jacob help, but people are still there to, you know, help what they can and do whatever. So everyone else that's not Ned, I met through the Discord. They joined the community, and, you know, they were really passionate about it, which is probably one of the most important things to me. Is really, I don't want you to be a part of something that I'm, you know, passionate about if you can't share that same passion. I mean, people probably could even attest for themselves, you know, they could probably name the top 10 people that chat the most. So
I honestly joined just to bash the helper or programmer, what was it, like the Google Form thing? Like way back you had the Google Form.
Oh, to sign up for, or to apply?
Yeah. I originally joined just to bash that because like some things are just wrong. And yeah, I kind of stick around, so like, yeah.
Well, we're happy you did.
And I'm sure the community is quite happy you are.
Yeah, definitely. So,
Pulls to Deshaun, are you good with graphic design and video manipulation because you made that stream thing very quickly?
He's good. He's good. Don't let him tell you otherwise. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
In the words of Ned, what was it? I'm a Photoshop wizard or something like that.
I don't remember what I said, but it was something along that line.
He said something in the chat. He's like, Deshaun's a Photoshop wizard. Yeah, I've been using Photoshop, pretty much the whole Adobe suite for really like
Since you started content creation, really.
Probably like almost 8 years now, because I started doing it before that. So I actually have a certificate, or certification in Photoshop.
Really?
Oh yeah, I took a certification test. So I'm Adobe certified for Photoshop.
I would have failed that hard.
It was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
How do I afford the Adobe Suite? I am a student, so students only have to pay $21.95 a month. That's with tax.
For everything.
For everything, for the whole suite. And when your membership ends, and when it's going to go back to the regular price, just call Adobe, say you'd like to end your membership because you can't afford it, and they'll switch it back to $21.95 a month. That's what I did, and I have it for 2 years now.
There you go.
You gotta work the system, all right?
You gotta do what you gotta do. All right, so Dark, do you want to, like, now that we've done like kind of the programming history, like where we started, Dark and Jacob, do you guys like? So you guys are the two that like, one of you work in the field and one of you is about to. Do you want to kind of explain like what you do, like what languages you use, if you can, of course. Just kind of like so people know like if they want to get into the programming field, like what they want to like focus on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if Dark is still here, he can answer first because he like actually works in it.
Oh god, I'm so fair for these questions. Well, where I work, SRE, so I'm a site reliability engineer, which means that I have to keep shit alive. What I would recommend if people want to go for Google Software Engineer or Google Site Reliability Engineer is, well, algorithms is probably a big part of at least the interviews. I was asked stuff about concurrency as well. But yeah, like mainly no algorithms, practice with algorithms. There's a lot of puzzles online that you can solve. If people aren't aware, there's also foobar, although it might be a bit hard to get in. It's basically algorithmic puzzles that you can find by just searching programming terms.
Yeah, I literally just heard about foobar literally the other day when you guys brought it up. I think that's pretty cool that they do that. But that you said that's how you got in, right? And then you kind of like got interviewed and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got an invite because I just didn't manage to hit the right keywords. I barely use Google at this point, so yeah. But yeah, like a friend of mine had an invite code and I just used it, and I got pretty far, almost till the end. And like at some random point, I got a call from Dublin asking me if I was willing to relocate for my job.
There you go.
But yeah, like I mainly would recommend like algorithms apparently is a really big part, at least for most interviews. You probably get a lot of like algorithmic questions.
So like as far as like algorithms, like what would you suggest? Like is there like certain like I don't know what I'm going towards here, but like where did you get like the most experience like in learning like how to deal with that kind of like question? Would you say?
University. Like by a really big shot university.
Okay.
Really helped me like getting the basics done.
So like what kind of classes? Were they just like strictly algorithm classes? Like were they math classes? Were they
a mix really? Like I got basic logic and set theory. I got like data structures and algorithm classes. I had programming classes. I had software engineering classes. Like so it's a bit of a mix of a lot of things, but I reckon like the more algorithmic and data structure kind of classes are like really, like, for me they were a good preparation. It obviously depends on like where you get them.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, don't be a Ricky and please stay in school and like get your degrees because they do help getting you a job.
Definitely, yeah. I definitely agree that having a degree. I definitely agree that having a degree. That sounds weird, but that'll always help, of course.
And obviously, like there's a ton of resources to get from tools that it's really hard to come by in real life, and on the internet.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, so Jacob, did you want maybe you can go over a couple things that you had to know for your interview?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing in the job yet. I'm pretty sure my job title is just software engineer, which is pretty general. But I know that I'll be working in Java, which is great because that's the language that I know the best. Regarding the interview, they asked me a few technical questions. Some were just general information about sort of Java concepts, but those concepts can be familiar to other languages as well. Like they asked me what a thread was and what encapsulation was, and a bunch of different things. Then they gave me some problems where they wanted me to find the intersection of two arrays with efficient code, obviously. So, and just a bunch of different algorithms like that. So I definitely do agree with Dark that algorithms are something that you should know and practice. And there are a bunch of books out there for just algorithms that they ask on interviews, and Google's foobar, like he had mentioned, and yeah, just other stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I've had one job in the programming field. Oh, sounds like his fire alarm's going off there. Hopefully his place doesn't burn down as we're streaming. But
just grab your computer and go.
Jacob?
I think that was Jacob, yeah.
Yeah, he was probably in a dorm.
He said LOLBRB. That's hilarious.
Honestly,
I was like, no talking of us and shit, therefore I did.
if I'm going to be honest, if my fire alarm started going off and there was a real fire, I would pack so much stuff up. I will die for my stuff because I know my school will reimburse me.
No, not at all. Okay, so I guess I can kind of answer my own question too, as far as working in the I really looked into my job. I got a temp job at a financial assessment firm, and I was currently in school for computer science. That's all my college offered. I went to a community college, and they found that out, and they tested me in a language called R, which most of you have probably never heard of. I would be surprised if someone did hear of it here, besides Stark. But yeah, that's basically how I got mine. I literally just lucked into one. It's just kind of put yourself out there. Even if you have enough experience, R is I can link you later, Cole. But R okay, so put yourself out there and kind of just learn as much as you can. Take in as much information as you can is all I could suggest.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And really, not necessarily in just programming. Really, in everything, we get a little inspirational here. But always try to do your best in everything that you do, because you never know who is going to be the person that can be a really important referral or aspect of your life. I mean, from my personal side at school, so obviously I said before I'm a broadcast journalism major. My advisor, I thought he was just gonna be my advisor who picked my classes for me, who helped me make sure I graduate on time, blah 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 blah. Turns out he is this top gun basically, right? And he has gotten me so many opportunities. He got me the opportunity to work on a film that premiered at Sundance. Then out of that film, I actually got to go to Sundance. I got to hang out with the whole production company and everyone who's at Sundance. I met Terry Crews, so that was awesome.
I saw the picture.
But yeah, it's just a lot of you never know who's going to be the person that's going to be able to change your career or your future. So really, just work hard and show everybody that you're worth it in a way. Even if it's a really, really stupid, say if you're in high school, you're in college, even if it's a really stupid class, I don't even know, public speaking or something, my public speaking teacher, she's told me, she's if you need a referral or a reference, let me know. I only took one class with her, but I made such a positive impact that she was just I can be a reference if you want me to. She's like, you have great whatever, whatever, whatever. So, sort of one of those things. Jacob is still in his fire drill. He probably won't be back for like 10-15 minutes.
I just got called a trash bag on stream. Cool.
Oh.
Someone in chat, and then someone just, yeah, just, you know, the trolls are coming out. No worries.
The trolls are coming out.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna open my blinds because it's gotten darker out since, but we're only gonna go for about another 5-10 minutes anyways. But I'll be right back. So if you guys want to talk, go for it.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, let me get the chat here. LL banning someone for saying that it's pointless. Since when did you get mod Fire Blast? Hello, chat. Shit.
Alright.
Anybody got any more questions before probably I'm gonna be on here for maybe 5 or 10 more minutes. So anyone got any last questions? It can be personal questions. I mean, at least for me, you can ask me personal questions. I don't know about the rest of everybody. But yeah.
Did Jacob come back?
He did not.
Rip Jacob.
Rip Jacob.
We'll keep him in mind, right? We'll keep him in our hearts.
He's in our hearts, yeah.
We'll never forget him. Just got his new first job and already has to die. It's just a day.
It's a shame. Another legend has left us. All right, I think that might do it. Really, I don't think anybody's got any more questions.
Yeah.
And all right,
I'm alive, by the way.
I'm alive.
Oh,
There he is,
perfect.
just in time.
Yeah, my building fire alarm went off. I don't know why, but
Nice. Perfect timing,
Any
right?
of you that started off with Java, did you make any money off plugins? Yes, I have. I've made quite a bit of money. There is good business in Spigot plugins because
Definitely.
Minecraft is a popular game and will continue to be a popular game. I would be very surprised if PC Minecraft died, honestly.
At least anytime soon.
No, I honestly, Minecraft I think is going to be a game that's here to stay.
I feel like there'd be something like, I mean, not relatively soon, but like that would replace it.
I think the way that they're moving the platform and.
But are they? We're moving towards like a Minecraft our podcast now, but oh well. Do you think like Microsoft? It's Microsoft that owns it now, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they can handle that?
I think they
community?
think they can. I think they can. Yeah. I think what we'll probably see in the coming future, I mean, it's already sort of been done, but not by Microsoft themselves, is implementing VR natively into Minecraft. I think that alone is going to make a pretty huge transition, especially for a lot of young people who are really, you know, excited about you know, virtual reality. Me personally, I don't see the joy in it. I've used it and I just wasn't
Not at the state it's
fond of
at.
it.
It has to be like a really well developed VR for me to be actually enjoy it.
Oh, I mean, there's plenty of really well developed VR.
I mean, I've only used it to the extent of like putting your phone in one of those headsets.
Yes, you know, I've used an HTC Vive, so
Oh.
I had like real VR experience, and
That'd be cool.
it just wasn't for me. It wasn't like one of those things where I was like, oh, I thought it was like stupid. It's amazing technology. It's super cool, but
Yeah.
I think Minecraft is eventually going to natively adopt that, and I think, to be honest, that would be quite a game changer for Minecraft to adopt native VR.
Doesn't it already do VR?
Oh, does it? It might even already do it.
I think there is already some kind of. I don't know if it was a mod.
Yeah, I know there was a mod, but I'm saying like natively, as in Microsoft puts it in there, and like once you have your HTC Vive connected, it's like, oh, do you want to use VR? But yeah, so that's my Minecraft rant. But yes, I have made money from doing plugins. There is good money in it, especially if you become a good developer. I kind of had the advantage. Once I started the channel, people were just sort of messaging me, asking me to make them plugins. But even then, you can find work really easy on the Spigot forums. So.
Oh yeah, I never like got into Spigot like you did. Like I really wish I did, but at the same time, I'm glad I did something different. That way, I could bring that series to the channel. But like I wish I understood Java and like Spigot like you guys do. My real downfall was just Java, to be honest. For web development, I mean, you got to be really good at web development to be finding jobs. As far as freelancing,
Depends on what you do. Like if you do backend, it's probably a lot easier. Like if
yeah,
you do front end, you have to be a really good designer, or the backend is less like
less competitive. You think?
Yeah, I think like backend is less competitive because like code like that runs on the backend is pretty objective. It's like it runs or it doesn't run. Obviously, like it has to run to a certain efficiency, but front end is like perceived differently by everyone you talk to.
Are you currently free to hire for server development? What kind of server there, DJ Cleveland? I know Deshaun is probably.
Sorry, I wasn't listening then.
Are you currently free to hire for server development?
I am not. I have such a busy last semester here.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure. I mean, we have a. If you go to our Discord server, you could. Well, you'll have to create an account on the forums, and then you can post in the hiring section, and then you can find a developer that way. I mean, yeah, it's really easy, but at the same time, like I haven't touched PHP in probably like 4 or 5 years, but I've seen like so many different like APIs and like platforms out there that make like making a login system literally like what 30 lines of code now and like simple stuff like that. We actually will have some kind of tutorial series on that side of stuff soon.
Does code affect your daily life, your brain, and how you think of things?
Kind of. I would assume so, right? Like I don't think I could answer that. I think about code a lot. That's for sure. All right. Well,
nowadays less coding, but maybe because my job doesn't really feel like I'm doing intense.
Yeah, that's how I feel too sometimes. Like whenever I'm first starting out on like some kind of sorry about the music in the background, guys. That's my neighbor. He just started it, so we'll end here soon. I can turn down my mic a little bit. That is annoying. But basically, like, I mean, what was I going on about? So whenever like I get like really invested into some kind of language, it'll just feel a lot easier and feel like a lot more simple and like not that like complex. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like obvious almost. So anyone else want to weigh in on that?
If you can repeat that, I can say something.
I mean, whenever you're like getting further into like coding, it just feels like you're not like thinking differently anymore. It feels like it just makes sense anymore. I mean, that's probably a good thing, and this might just be me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really use like things that like algorithms that I use in code in like my everyday life. It's sort of like the same thing with the community that's built around chess, where like chess is like a big algorithmic game, and it's not something you could really use in your daily life for things like unrelated to it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Because I think of one thing step at a time. I think of things. I mean, I think of things one step at a time is probably not really the best way. I mean, of course, depending what you're doing, I think you kind of really want to be, back to the whole chess thing. You really want to be a few steps ahead of what you were looking for, because, if you do something, say you make something one way, 15 steps later, you look back and you're like, oh, that's not how I wanted to really do it, because it's not going to work. Now, you have to change most times, and a lot of times, you have to change a lot in order to get your code back to where you want it to be, or where it should have been, but you just wanted to rush it and just do that one step instead of taking the time to think a little bit further ahead.
Well,
all right.
I think that's where we're gonna end it, guys.
Thank you for everybody who came out, including Dark.
Dark Jacob. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully, we can make this like maybe not even a regular thing, but like every now and then we can get together and talk about a certain subject or just answer questions like that. You mentioned doing an AMA earlier. We could do something like that just on stream.
If we ever can find the time again, but
yeah, no, this took a while. Like I was just telling Deshaun, like he was like saying maybe we should make this like a even not a weekly thing, but just like a concurrent show. And I'm like, man, it's taken 2 weeks to get us to do this, and someone didn't even show up. I'm gonna ream him for that. No, I'm not, but I'm gonna give him crap. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. This will be this will be uploaded on YouTube, of course. So if you did miss any parts of it, be sure to go check it out there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. See ya.